So I think as of now, it's safe to say that the first wave of free agency has concluded. I know there's still some big names out there such as EJ Gaines, Tyrann Mathieu, and Justin Pugh, and a few others. But for the most part, most of the big names are gone. And instead of making a rant video, kinda talking shit about all the moves the Texans made or didn't make, because see, my personal issue isn't who they got. My issue is not with Aaron Coleman. My issue is not with Zach Fulton, with what's his name, Clemente, and Henderson. It's really not. My issue is that these guys missed out on Andrew Norwell. Then they went out, tried really hard for Soldier, probably dodged the bullet there, missed out on Trumaine Johnson. They probably dodged the bullet with Butler too. I never thought Butler was really all that good, but the Texans, for the most part, added depth to the team. And that's my issue. Yeah, depth is good, but who are your starters really? I mean, yes, Aaron Coleman and Fulton are starters, but the other two guys, they're pretty much depth. So instead of just talking shit about these guys and shitting on them, I'm going to just look at them for what they are and if they're good value or not, and just kind of give them a grade. And then later on in the video, I'm going to say who I think is still out there that we could get, and what I think of the, Joseph and re-signings and all that stuff. But anyways, the first guy we signed, the first official guy we signed was Aaron Coleman. I always said, man, I didn't have an issue with the Texans bringing in Coleman, and I've always said that I actually like Coleman. I think he's a good player. My issue with the Texans was the fact that they brought in Coleman by himself. If the Texans were to get Coleman, and I always said this, you could look back in some of my old live streams, or even some of Ray's live streams. I've been in there in the chat, and I've said it. I have no problem with Coleman, but Coleman is regarded as a nickel corner or slot corner, whatever you want to call it. Can he play outside? I don't know. It's a possibility, but as of right now, no. So as of now, we'll just label Coleman a slot corner. And I have no issue going for a slot corner, because all three of our starting corners last year were pretty bad, to say the least. So Coleman is a definite upgrade. But my issue is, Brian Gameville, Brian, you guys addressed the third corner spot instead of 1 and 2. Yeah, that's really my issue with the Coleman signing. But Coleman himself, man, it was a good signing. Himself, the player, Aaron Coleman, he's a good player. He can play man, he can play zone, decent tackler. The guy is just a shutdown corner at the nickel spot. And yes, I know some people are going to come out, well, Aaron Coleman doesn't have a pick. That doesn't matter. I could care less about interceptions. I would rather have a corner that's a straight up shutdown corner that's going to shut down your receiver, hold him to less than 2 receptions, less than 20 yards every game, than to have a corner that gets, 6 interceptions a season, but gives up like 70 yards every game. To me, that's a non-issue. To me, what matters is that shutdown factor, and Aaron Coleman is a shutdown corner in the nickel. Outside, there's a chance he could be, but again, we don't know that. So as of now, I'm just going off of what's known, and what's known is Aaron Colvin is a good nickel corner, a really good nickel corner, an elite nickel corner, you could even say, arguably even the best nickel corner in the league. Contract-wise, he's getting an average around 8.5 mil a year, which is slightly overpaid, probably by about like 1.5 mil, for being honest. But that's not too big of an issue for me, really. For Aaron Colvin, I'll probably have to give the overall Aaron Colvin signing a B, because just the slight overpay, and I'm not too sure if he can be played outside, and if the Texans are going to play him outside. So, and the next guy, Zach Fulton. Now, initially, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? But after further research, Zach Fulton is actually a pretty damn good player. He's versatile. He can play left guard, center, and right guard, but will probably play right guard here in Houston, or left guard. And this guy's just an elite pass blocker. He's a really good pass blocker. He was created top 5 last season in terms of pass blocking grade. Run blocking about average. So overall, I think he is, a good signing. I think 7.5 mil a year. His official contract hasn't been announced yet, so that was a rough estimate of what it was, 7.5, and I do think that is also a slight overpay, but overall, I'd say it's a pretty damn good signing. I mean, you gotta protect Deshaun Watson at all costs. I do think there were better options out there, but it was still a good signing nonetheless. I'd give it a B+. Now the next guy, Senio Clemente. He was an all-around lineman, I guess you could describe him, just a lineman for the Saints. Apparently, he can play center, he can play both guard spots, and he's played tackle at times. He's apparently been an extra tight end too, so this guy is really versatile, and he's pretty decent. But the versatility, and he came to Houston for a chance to start over there in New Orleans. He wasn't going to start because they have a really good offensive line, but the guy is actually pretty good. He's getting an average of 4 mil per year, but this guy is probably not going to be a starter, so I'm just grading him off of what he's supposed to be. And to me, this guy is supposed to be that extra lineman, that guy that's reliable. If someone goes down, he can go in there and finish the game and not really worry. He can possibly even compete for a job. I just think this was probably arguably the best signing the Texans had. I really do. 4 mil a year for a decent player. That's a really good backup. That's really good depth. I mean, in comparison, last year we were paying Chris Clark like 3 mil, and I think Breno Giacomini was also getting 3 mil, and both of them are trash. I think this guy is better than both of them, so I don't mind paying him 1 mil more a year to be that depth guy. The guy, if Nick Martin goes down, he could fit in that center. If Jeff Allen, I don't know, overeats that night, you could fit him in that guard. I just think it was an all-around good signing. And for the next guy, Central Henderson. Okay, so this guy, he was supposed to go really early in the draft a while ago, but he had off-the-field issues, marijuana. So he went in the 7th round. The Bills is where he came from. The Bills actually took a lineman before him in the 3rd round. Henderson actually beat him out, and Henderson for 2 years was pretty damn good for Buffalo. A starter at the right tackle spot. Henderson then was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And it kind of sidelined him for around 2 years. Just this past season, he got back. And now he's here in Houston for, I want to say it's $3 million a year, maybe 4. But to me, this signing is just a risk signing. Like, the Texans brought him in to compete for a starting right tackle job. They're hoping he can get back in shape and compete for that right tackle spot and go back to the level he was playing at before. I mean, pretty much 3 years removed from playing at a decent level. For $3 million, I'm not sure if this guy is going to even be better than Breno Giacomini, if I'm being honest. I'm not even sure if this guy is even going to make it out of training camp or even make the roster. So he might be depth, but that's also a question mark. So I'm going to have to give this one a D, honestly. This is probably like the signing I am probably least comfortable with. Actually, I am uncomfortable with it, really. I think we could have done better options out there. I mean, Chris Hubbard was there. Cameron Fleming's still there. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on them. Oh, an overall grade for this what the Texans have done in this first portion of free agency, I'd have to give them a solid D. Maybe a D plus. Because again, there were better options out there. The Texans just didn't get it done. They let people pass on by. I do think they didn't make enough signings. There's tackles out there. Yes, I think they did a pretty decent job at addressing the guard spot. But where's the other corner at? Where's the safety at? Where is the offensive tackles at? Yeah, as of right now, it's a D plus. It could change because there's still free agents out there. Which brings me to the next part of my video. There's still some good players out there. It's not over. It's not a lost cause for the Texans just yet. It is looking bad, yes, but I mean, EJ Gaines is still out there. He's a pretty damn good corner. Nobody's heard much from him. Literally, the only team that's been linked to him was Houston, and that was like 3 days ago. So, yeah. Rashawn Melvin, another pretty damn good corner. He's still out there. I think he's visiting with the Raiders, so he might be gone soon. Safeties, Tyrann Mathieu out there, Trey Boston, Kenny Vaccaro, Eric Reed. There's still a bunch of safeties out there. Offensive lineman, it's running pretty thin. At guard, only Justin Pugh is left, but I highly doubt they go get another guard. Tackle, only really Cameron Fleming. So, yeah, there's quite a few people there Texans could bring in. But also, guys, keep in mind that this video is being recorded before you guys are watching it, so there's a possibility that some of these guys that I'm mentioning are going to be gone. And if you're going to ask, should we get Adrian Peterson? No. No, 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 no. No to Adrian Peterson. So there's still time for the Texans to save their free agency. It's not a lost cause yet. And now I kind of want to get into some of our players that we brought back. Brian Peters, could care less. Jonathan Joseph for around $5 million a year. It's alright, I guess, which is actually a pretty decent signing because we don't have another corner, like we kind of had to get him back. To me, Jonathan Joseph sounds like a last resort type of thing. And of course we have Bruce Ellington, who I think was a great re-signing. And then we had like a bunch of other smaller guys like Angelo Blackson, who I really liked, and also kind of something I want to talk about too was CJ Fedorowicz retiring. I mean, good for the guy, man. Like really good for the guy. It's better for him to walk out on his own terms than for him to be kind of forced to retire. But it kind of does put us in a situation where we need to get another tight end. But I just don't see them getting another one. But yeah, I'll probably make another video regarding free agency, probably like next week, if the Texans do make more moves. But overall, I'm just not happy right now with the moves. I'm not happy because of the moves they haven't made, if you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you watched, this far, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.